Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast, Convos with Desiree. My name is Desiree, and today we are joined by a special guest, my best friend, Shakina Davis. She is a Kent State graduate we actually met in college, and she is a new supporter based in Memphis, Tennessee. And today she's going to actually interview me, the host, so you guys can get to know me better. So first of all, thank you, Shakina, for joining the podcast. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. It's a beautiful day. A little cloudy, but the sun is peeking through, so it's a blessed day.
Oh,
How about yours?
okay,
How you feeling,
good.
Desiree? How you feeling?
I'm feeling cool, a little hungry, but that's okay. But yeah, besides that, I feel good.
That is good. So, you want to go ahead and get started?
Yep.
We can just hop straight into it. Well, okay, no. So, Desiree, before we hop into it, what did you eat this morning? Like, I'm just curious. I mean, I know it's the afternoon now, at least over here. No, it's over there. I
Yeah.
forgot about the time difference, but
What did I eat this? I just had literally okay, I had 2 pieces of bread this morning. Then I had to go somewhere. So on the way back, I had like a can of pop and a muffin. That's it.
Okay, so pretty good start to your morning. That's good. That's good.
Random questions like
Okay, Desiree, what's your favorite color?
pink.
Why pink?
It's pretty.
So is it this type of pink or a different type of pink?
Well, for people that can't see, she's wearing like a dark, hot pink. I think honestly, almost all pinks look good. So,
Have you always liked pink
yep,
your whole life?
yep,
So your color never changed. It's always been pink.
yes.
That's insane. Okay, so what's your favorite food to eat?
You talking about like food groups or specific food?
Just a specific food, your favorite meal that you go to.
Is cake a meal?
If you want it to be, I mean, it's more of a dessert, but
Okay, okay, meal, I guess I would say I don't know, I don't have a favorite meal. One of my favorite meals is tacos. Let me say it like that. Tacos.
what kind of taco? I just had some last night.
Uh, Honestly, I haven't came across a taco I didn't like.
Not from Taco Bell. Not from Taco Bell. I mean, Taco Bell is good too, but I'm just saying, like, actual real tacos.
I have never ate a taco I did not like. Now, it can't be spicy, but besides that, I have never been to any Mexican restaurant where I ate the taco and I didn't like it. Never had an experience.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what would you say is, like, one of your pet peeves?
Um when people are saying they act a certain way because of their zodiac sign, like, oh, I act this way because I'm a Taurus. Shut up. Like, that's so annoying. So stuff like that.
Do you believe in zodiac signs?
No.
Okay. And why is that?
Because I mean, okay, 2 reasons. One, the Bible says is no, you shouldn't do that. But 2, also, even the Bible didn't say it's just like, do you really believe you act this way because of what day and time you was born? Like, can we just have some common sense?
Right. Okay. So, what do you like most about your job? Just random question.
Which one? I have 2.
Which job do you like the most? Actually, I don't even know if we should get into that because I don't want your job to see this and be like, oh,
They're not gonna see it. Who cares what they do? I can say what I want.
okay. Well, what job do you
What job
like
what?
best? And then what do you like about that job?
Okay, first of all, I don't like none of them the best. They're both suck either way it goes. Okay. I really don't care for neither one of them. I will say though, for the main job, it is more of an uplifting environment when it comes to the people I'm sticking. Because guys, if you don't remember, I am a phlebotomist. But besides that, I don't really like neither of my jobs. So
Okay. Okay.
if you have no
What
questions,
was
get into it.
yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, let's get into it because that's the hot seat. Okay. So now it's time to get to know Desiree Wright.
Okay.
Let's go. So my first question for you. Who are you, Desiree? Like who are you? Like, how would you describe yourself in one word?
One word, person.
Okay. Hey. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so if I were to describe myself, I would say like first a woman, a guy, a Christ follower. I would say I am hardworking. I kind of say what I want, and that's sometimes good and bad, but I don't care at the same time, to be honest. I would say I'm a good friend. At least I hope I'm a good friend. I would say I'm a good daughter, good sister, good. I mean, just would say I'm a good person, even though I do have my bad days and my flaws or whatnot. But I would just say I try to be the best I can be. Let me say it like that.
So, Desiree, let's get straight into your journey from when you were little Desiree all the way up until adult Desiree.
So little young Desiree, I've never been little per se, but I would say I grew up in the Daniel High area. I was a regular run of the mill kid, to be honest. I have an autistic older brother. I grew up with a mom that's pretty much sick almost my entire life. So it was mainly my dad working. And I went to a primarily black school until I was 10, and then I got moved to a primarily white school, and that kinda changed how I had to operate, and that kinda affected later on in my life how I'm so called the soft black girl trying to be white to some people, so that's another thing I had to go through, and then I always had to focus on, like, helping my mom and helping my dad with my mom and brother. I've always had type of responsibility, like, ever since I was young, like, I would say, like, 10 or 11, basically. So, I guess you could say, like, I've always had a sense of responsibility in my household when I shouldn't have, at least that's what I feel like. And then fast forward to college, I went to Kent State, where we both met in Kent, Ohio, if you guys don't know, and I had a bad roommate, and, fortunately, that actually led me to join a Christian organization called Impact, where I met a lot of my good friends today, actually, and that has, helped me with my faith journey. I've always believed in God, but I just didn't start taking it seriously until when I got to college, and I started being around those like-minded people, and just started going to church more regularly, start reading my word and stuff like that. And then after college, I couldn't finish because of financial reasons, so I had to come back home. I had to work a job at a senior home I did not like. During the time, my mom was having more issues. So I also at that time too, I took it upon myself to learn a trade like phlebotomy to get a better job. And I did get a better job in a sense. Then fast forward, 2 years later, my mom unfortunately passed away. So that led me to living with my dad and my grandma's at my grandma's for a year. And then after a year, I had to move out, which is a good thing, and having another job in phlebotomy. However, I'm still always trying to find another job. And then as we talk today, unfortunately, I had to go back out with my father because things didn't work out. So that is why I am today.
And so I want to sort of break it down. So let's start from all the way in the beginning when you were um, younger. What would you say was like your family dynamic? What were some of those good memories? And maybe if you want to share any, not so good memories from your childhood.
So I would say, while I am the youngest, I still was kind of tagged with the responsibility of watching over my older brother because he's 8 years older than me. So, like, I'm always told that if you two are out in public together, make sure he is protected. So I was kind of like the protector in that role. And then honestly, I felt like when it came to just me and my mom being alone, out and about, even though she's the mom and she will protect me the best way she can, I always felt like I had to protect her because she was a weaker woman, and I had to make sure she was good because I grew up where, like, I would say all high school, she was in and out of the hospital, constantly having heart attacks. I would say the majority of my life, she's had heart attacks. Like, I wanna say I've seen my mom had a heart attack, like, at least, like, 10 or 12 times. Or, like, some type with something else with her heart, or like you said, with cancer, because she had cancer twice. And also she fell a lot. Like, majority of my high school, she was in bed because she kept breaking one of her ankles. So she was watching over her in a sense. And at the same time, it was like just sometimes it was like it's me and my dad versus not versus, but like me and my dad taking care of my brother and my mom in a sense. So it was just like, I guess I felt like it was my responsibility to take care of someone in the family, even though I was the youngest, along with my dad. So I would say we had good memories. Like, I remember when I was younger, my favorite memory was we lived in Trotwood, and that's a suburb of Dayton, if you guys don't know, where my dad would come home from work every day riding the bus, and I will watch out in the window. And as soon as I see him around the corner, I will constantly like get on my bike and ride to him the best way I can. That is my favorite memory of this day. And then another favorite memory I have is when, like, I would, like, kind of force my mom to watch TV with me, like, movies that I knew she didn't like. So, it's stuff like that. And my brother, he used to kinda stay to himself, but basically, just when we got around together for the holidays, that's also a good memory I have with my family. So, there's some good memories too.
And so how would you say that has shaped you over the years? How has that shaped you and made you to the woman that you are now?
So I will say I do get told a lot how I don't know how to have fun and how I'm strict, how I'm trying to make sure everything is taken care of because I, I did not have the luxury, nor did I even want to honestly be that typical teenager that wanted to party or be irresponsible. I'm not saying I'm not irresponsible, but I didn't have the luxury of not having it work out because I'm irresponsible like some regular teenagers could, if that makes sense. So it's just like I've always stressed about like money or like things in life in general at such a young age. It's just kind of like magnified more than it should now that I'm 26 years old versus some of my peers where they didn't have to worry about stuff like that until they was, like, at least in college or sometimes even after college, to be honest. I feel like that's kinda made me more of a stressful person in a sense because 'cause I'm always like, "What's next? It needs to get done before stuff gets cut off." Now I feel like I'm playing catch up on how to interact with people my age, and it's kinda disheartening when people say how I'm behind or why don't I know this, that, and the third about, like, random stuff. So, yeah.
And so fast forward into how would you explain that journey of being in college?
All my roommates sucked, I will say that, besides one person.
Who's that one
So
person?
huh? What?
Who's that one person?
What do you think, Shakina? Oh my god.
She's talking about me, you guys. Hey, we bumped heads a little. I mean, we still
Yeah,
at
but,
least we
like
like each other, like,
yeah,
we
we're the only you're the only roommate I still talk to. So my rooming situation was never the best. I won't say never, but, like, overall, it ended in, like, separation, so that was kinda disheartening, and then I constantly was trying to have friends in college, and I did have friends in college, and I still do have friends from college, but the people I was trying to hang around with, from the Christian group, I just noticed how, like, they couldn't hang out with me as much as because they had other responsibilities to that organization or they just simply had chose to hang out with other people. I'm not saying they didn't hang out with me. I'm just saying I didn't get their attention as much as I wanted, and I felt like I poured into relationship way more than they did. Now that's just my perspective. I'm not saying that's true or not, and it's just how I was feeling at the time. So, and then college is the work itself. It wasn't really that hard to be honest. Like it just takes like discipline to make sure you go to classes on time. It wasn't that. So I would say my saving grace was the Christian group Impact, where I met people, actually did things besides staying in my room all day. That really did help me with my journey. Besides that, college wasn't that bad to be honest.
what would you say, um, what was the big takeaway from college?
Well, say during college, a big takeaway for me is sometimes the work you do can be waste. It really does not matter what you do if it's not what you're meant to do. And to break it down for that, so as people may know, I didn't get to finish college and due to unforeseen financial circumstances. And then I look back on it, it's just like I low key wasted my time. Not in a meeting people connections wise, but I'm talking like work. It sometimes does not matter because I'm even around people right now that have master's degrees in their field and they still can get a job. Like they're somewhere at Starbucks or whatever. or they have a job in their field, but they don't like it. So it's just like I wanna say like this. It does not matter what you do if it's not aligned with what your purpose is, and that you can only find your purpose by having a relationship with God. Let me say it like that. So
Okay. And speaking of a relationship with God, what is your relationship with Him? How would you explain that briefly?
So, I would say, it's still growing and building every day. I spend time with him. I journal about the word. I read the word. I try to talk about the word to people without being in their face about it. Like, I even sometimes post, like, verses of the day on my personal Snapchat to my coworkers can see it, or just for me in general, honestly, and on my social media pages. So I talk about it quite a bit around people too. So I would say it's just a growing relationship, a transformational relationship that I'm working on each and every single day.
Period. Any Anywho, so we're gonna touch back on that a little bit more in just a minute. I wanna finish this portion off with your life now. So from youth to college to now full-time adulthood. How would you describe adulthood now, your journey now in this phase that you are in?
Bro, it's hard because even though, like I said before, I'm moving back in with my father, even that at that point, it's still like all that falls on me. And that's like as any adult, right? So it's just like if you mess up and you get fired from your job for whatever reason, or if you do something that they had to let you go, no one cares. You have to figure it out. Yes, you have faith that everything will work out. However, it's just like these bills, your livelihood, your way of life, it depends on how disciplined you are and how you operate in the real world because unfortunately speaking, you have to work that job you don't like. You have to interact with people you don't like in order to continue your livelihood, especially if God has called you to be in that season right now.
Okay. And so, like you said, right now you just got a lot of things going. You're about to move back in with your dad. So, just mentally, how does all these transitions make you feel? Like going from, your youth into college, and, you didn't finish college, but, you found an interest in phlebotomy and you're still trying to find your way. So, that can take a toll on people mentally at times, just, certain things we all have in our lives that may affect us. So, how would you say your mental state is now going through all of this?
Well, okay, let me correct you. I don't like phlebotomy. I don't like it. You should know that.
Of course.
You suck at a best friend. Anyway, it's a lot because it's just like I'm constantly applying to different jobs. Like you're getting told no because you don't have a degree, even though I have experience to show I know what I'm doing. It's just not like a piece of paper. Like I literally can show you I know how to do it. You still tell me no because I like a piece of paper. So it's just draining. Like I'm applying to jobs at my other job. Do both of them jobs actually. I am constantly on Indeed, LinkedIn, applying. I swear I apply to like at least 20 jobs a day and nothing. And so it's draining to be in an environment where you don't like the work, you don't like sometimes I don't like the people. It's really hard to be Christian in the workplace because you can't like say your religion in people's face all the time, but in the same sense you don't want to be a part of their culture either. So it's just like you're low key shunned in a sense. So it can be exhausting both mentally and physically at times.
Okay. And so, I guess now we can touch into the spiritual side of things, your spiritual journey. So, how do you believe your faith is helping you through all of this?
I believe everything happens for a reason. I actually read a scripture today. I want to say in Proverbs where we should not lean on our own understanding. So I may not understand why things have happened in my life the way they did, but I have to have faith that I know everything will work out in one way, shape, or form.
So, how strong do you believe your faith is?
You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 8. I still have times where I'm in like, I can't wrap my head around like why this is happening or like why things are going the way that they are. stuff like that. So I'm not gonna say it's a 10 out of 10. I will say for the most part, I am believing that God has a plan for me. And it's just the fact I get impatient sometimes. And when I get impatient, that's where the whole disbelief sinks in.
So, what do you do to help yourself stay focused and continue trusting in God and keeping your faith as strong as possible? What are some things that you do?
So I try to be in community at my church. I try to be in my word a little bit more. I try to be more intentional with his time. Sometimes I talk to my friends. Like today, I literally just got off a phone call of talking with my friend for 2 hours about something I'm struggling with because it's just been like a off day for me, an off past couple of days for me. So sometimes talking to your friends that are also on the same walk as you to help you through it as well, to help you get through that disbelief at times. And that way your friends can also remind you with scripture on why you have to wait or like why things are happening the way that they're happening and how to respond in certain situations.
Right. And so we're talking about your faith now and how strong it is. So, what has been your spiritual journey that has helped you get to where you are now?
The spiritual, I would say I was very lukewarm growing up. Like, I believe in God. My mom tried to make me go to church. Every time I went to church growing up, I fell asleep. So, like, I heard none he said. It was just like, yeah, I believe in God and I believe he is like creator of everything, but I never like wanted to follow. Or I had no interest in following him. Now, granted, I didn't really do things that so-called went against him, like partying or having sex or just being, like, crazy, but it was still, like, I wasn't intentionally living my life for him, and that process is starting to I was in college, go out with my people with that like-minded mindset to try to live intentionally for him, so that's the process has started there, and then when my mom passed away, I got more serious with my walk because I felt God called her home for a reason, and I was having struggles with that, and I still do sometimes. So, in order for me to get through that, I have to be more intentional of how I am with him and how I need to walk. And like just for today, for instance, even though yes, physically I had to move back in because I cannot afford things, but spiritually speaking, there may be another reason I had to move back in with my father, what that I may not know just yet. So that's how I'm trying to think of things right now.
Okay. Okay, that's good. If you don't mind, if you want to touch a little bit, I know you mentioned your mother a couple times. So how have you been processing that? Like, of course, anybody losing someone is tough, but how have you been dealing with it? How have you been coping?
Well, it's been over a little over no, it's just been 2 years a couple weeks ago. It's still hard. Honestly, I have to it's hard, especially when you see reminders of them. Like the other day, I cried because literally, I cried the other day because a person on TV said the word 2 years. That's it. They just said 2 years, and it just reminded me that it's been 2 years since she passed away, so I still get triggers like that. So, it's still a process. I can't say I've overcame it, and I probably never will, to be honest. I can only hope to grow around it.
Okay. What would you say is one of your favorite memories of your mom?
Ooh, okay, this is kind of funny, but kind of not funny. So at the local CVS, one day I was like in high school. We was parked right, and then I don't know why, but she pressed drive instead of reverse, and so she rammed to the wall. That dent is still there to this day. It's been like, well, almost 10 years at that point since it happened.
Mhm.
And she tried to blame it on me, say I was talking to her. I wasn't even talking. What you mean? So her ramming through the wall, not through the wall, but she made a dent in the CVS wall
Mhm.
with her little Ford Fiesta. And
Wow.
then we was trying to book it before the cops came, but unfortunately, they called the cops right away,
Mm.
and the cops was around the corner. It was funny.
Oh, okay. So now fast forward a little bit more. So, what do you believe is next for Desiree? We're going through all these transitions, and even now, transitioning, you know, What's like, where do you see yourself within the next couple of years?
I see myself, you know what? I wish I could say I could see myself being a corporate baddie, but that's probably not gonna happen, and that's okay. I do see myself.
Wait,
What?
let's speak life into it. Let's not
No,
say, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's natural for us to like have those. I don't know. It may or may not, but no, we're gonna speak life. We're gonna say when it happens, or yes, I have faith that it will happen. I just don't know when.
I mean, it's just okay, I mean, I guess at this point, I'm okay if it does or does not happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I will say I do hope to be in a different field in a couple years. I do hope this podcast grows, and I hope that my relationship with God strengthens. That's first and foremost, honestly. I would like to find a husband, or my husband finds me. That
Mm.
more if he finds me. I would like to be in a better situation, both financially and just work on being a better person overall through God and therapy.
That was pretty much it. All the questions that I had, like I said. Is there anything else you like to say? Any advice you like to give to people out there that may be going through the same thing you're going through or whatever it is that they're going through? What is
Same,
some advice you can give them?
same thing with what? You gotta be specific. Same thing with what?
Just whatever their journey is, what is some advice you can give people about their journey and keeping their faith as they're going through whatever it is they're going through?
Okay, so say that question one more time so when I edit it, it could be more smooth. So
Okay.
stay faith journey through all like struggles in life or whatever.
Yeah,
Say
okay.
it again. Okay.
So, what is some advice you can give people regarding their journey spiritually that you can give to people to help them continue to grow in their relationship with God and in life in general?
Would say for me, my advice would be you have to be intentional but spending time with him. Whether that be just going out, like doing picnics and reading the word and just journaling, having little Bible studies, or being in community about like-minded people, going to church, reading your word on your own more, praying more. Sometimes you gotta be by yourself and just have time with just you and him alone. Just talk to him. I know sometimes when I go on walks, I kind of like talk to him. So it really is about being more intentional, like, and like getting to know God more. And that way, even though life will always be hard, at least you'll be more comfortable knowing the fact that God's always with you and he'll guide you through everything he does through you.
And is there anything else you'd like to say or add about who you are and or anything you like to just say in general?
Shakina, ask them where they can find me at.
Okay, so Desiree, where can people hold on, let me read. So Desiree, where can people find you and listen to more of your podcast?
Okay, guys, so you can follow me, Convos with Desiree. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube, all the same handle. Also, or unless you're watching it, you can watch on the website, convoswithdesiree.com. And then make sure you subscribe to the email list down below. And then also for my social media handles, both my TikTok and my Instagram is Convos with Desiree. So you can follow behind the scenes clips right there, teasers and trailers and all that, and to get caught with the podcast and to watch some old clips from season 1. And yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna count this as a blooper scene. So Desiree, be honest about me and you and our journey over the years. Because I know you mentioned I was the better roommate, but it's still like, was I really? Or were you just saying that?
Maybe when you was a better roommate. You didn't bring your man over when I was there, or you didn't bring random people over when I was there. We're best friends, so obviously I think you're a better roommate. You didn't lie on me either. So
Okay, girl. Okay. Just making sure. All right. Well, that was all you guys for
wait,
this.
wait a minute, hold on. Wait, no, 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 no. I can
uh,
edit this. It doesn't matter. Okay, you said bloopers. Wait a minute. Should I do like a section of bloopers on like YouTube or like
You could.
clips, or like should I make that like exclusive content for people to should I make bloopers something people should want to watch to make them subscribe to the email list, or do you think people don't care for that?
It could be that, or you could just do it at the end of each podcast where you like, and then go into like You just have it added on at the end of the video. 'Cause then that could get people to wanna watch the next one, especially if they're looking forward to the bloopers at the end every time, you know?
Okay, because 'cause I'm just trying to find ways to, like, make people sign up for the email list. So I'm
Mhm.
like, is it because you want exclusive bloopers? Do you want exclusive content? Or
I think bloopers are fun.
or, like
Just, of course, as long as it's nothing crazy.
no, I mean, like, so you say, like, would you s for oh, wait a minute. Finish out this episode, and then we'll stop recording, and then we can start. So finish up the episode.
Okay, you guys, so that was all the questions of getting to know your podcast host, Desiree. So, Desiree, what do you have to say to your fans, to your followers? So,
To
Desiree, what do you have to say to your followers?
You can watch the next episode Friday at 8 a.m. at Standard Time on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Come to Desiree. We're here to talk about life in general, both good and bad, and how people are navigating through faith and everything work out. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. But besides that, I'll see you next time.
Recording stopped.